There are actually three skills that most people ought to have developed, and if they don't develop those skills, then that's one of the things that leads to emotional overload. Okay, emotional overload is too much information, too much energetic vibration, when your system is carrying a load. Right, so when we say load, this is energetic load. It's like, think of electricity, right? Is that if a system is made to carry a particular amount of energy and produce it and generate it, is that if you overload it, okay, if you put more information, more responsibility, more weight on your power grid than you have capacity for, okay, then the system starts signaling, okay, that you're carrying too much, you're doing too much, and all of that. So in particular, what I want to dive deeply into, I want to create an awareness of where this comes from. Because one of the powerful things I do in my school is I teach in a way where you understand the roots of issues, and then I give you tools and the solution to it. Because when people don't have awareness, when they don't know what is happening, that in of itself is very uncomfortable. You see? It's very uncomfortable to not know, to know something is off but not know what is off. Okay, so that's one of the most powerful things I do for my students, is create awareness. Listen, that is in of itself, it solves most of it. Once you know you are not alone, once you know, Bible talks about things are common to man. Once you know things that are common to man, and then you know, okay, there's a solution for that, then the question is, do you want to use the solution? Okay, so not knowing, ignorance is not bliss. When it comes to life and health and wealth and success, you don't want to be in the ignorant club. You really want information to surface so that you can evaluate it and then pursue solution. Okay, many times people may not be pursuing solutions because they don't know what's going on, and that in of itself leads to tolerance of nonsense. Okay, many people who don't know, many people who have symptoms, who have a feeling, or they perceive, okay, there's perception, you perceive something is off. That's one thing. That's a signal that you need to dig deeper to find out what is wrong. Don't just stop there and say, oh, something's wrong, and then people go, oh, it's the government, oh, it is that person. Because people who don't go to the root cause, who don't do deep research to understand what is really wrong, they make assumptions, they blame everybody else, they blame the spouse, they blame the this, they blame the boss, they blame. When they finish blaming everybody, they are still sitting in that situation, because blaming people does not solve anything. Pointing fingers does not heal you. Shouting on other people does not resolve. It's just compounding, multiplying. So many people are multiplying, right, growing things that needs to be fixed. And in order to be fixed, the first thing you need to do is to understand, right, the root of the affair. So I'm going to share with you what I'm presenting you today is the root of emotional overload, and then there's solution for that. You see, if you go somewhere and say, oh, your teeth, the first thing is what, because root cause would lead you to the right solution. Okay, but if you don't know the root, because that's what you need to address, it's not the symptoms you address, it's the what's lying beneath, what is invisible, what is not immediately visible, what is not surfacing, right? Things that are hiding in plain sight. Okay, so that's awareness allows you to give meaning to your perception, to things you perceive energetically, to spiritual messages God is downloading, but you need to convert it to meaning, you need to convert it to understanding, you need to convert it to overstanding, and then you need to convert it and resolve. Okay, so if you are for resolving, when you want to resolve something, you need to go to the root, address the root, the symptoms goes away. Okay, so in coaching, what is going on is that most of what, I'm not saying all, I'm just saying most of what people encounter and what people are trying to resolve, or what people are trying to, they're seeking understanding and meaning of, particularly in adulthood, the root, trust me, go back to family of origin, foundational ancestry. The root is that's your emotional blueprint. That's your that's where people are formed. That's your the DNA. That's what starts out what people are carrying around. So when people encounter emotional overload, trust me, whatever they are facing right now, somebody has faced it before in their lineage. Many people are being confronted with reality that they were not resourced for because somebody in the lineage did not conquer it. Okay? Because if it is resolved, the science of spirituality is that the solution is going to be packaged in your DNA. Whatever people have addressed, I'm going very deep, very advanced. So welcome. If you're new to this type of information, I just realized many people may be new. I'm diving deep like that. Yes, we go very deep. This is the most advanced human transformational program in the world. Okay? So we go there. Spirituality, behavioral science, psychology, emotional intelligence, energetics, the world of force, the power of prayer, so that you know where you are supposed to be focused on. If you know the root cause, you will not be you will not be many people are like in the dark trying to figure out things. No, turn your light on. Just switch the light. Enlightenment will light you. You will now know what you are dealing with, what is dealing with you, and then you can bring the right tools and engage. I always say engage. There are many things engaging with people. I'm saying engage back. Like that's part of life. Don't sit around complaining, right? Engage back, but you need the right tools and the right strategies and the right knowledge and the right power to engage. I say, don't let them play with you. Pray so that you can play, but don't let things play with you. And then okay. Let me get right to it. We will have fun. Those who follow me, those who are in my school, we know we're going to engage with the most advanced topics, but we'll do it in a very light, refreshing way. Okay? So human development: spiritual, emotional, intellectual, behavioral. This development capacity, if you go to the foundation, train up a child in the way the child should grow. When the child is old, the child will not depart. Yes? So, part of the spiritual emotional skill that fundamentally, if people don't have these skills, if they are not installed, okay, when I say installation, certain feelings that need to be installed is certain power that people need to have, certain skills. Okay, feelings install skills. There's an installation. I've come to realize that humans need to be certain feelings and certain power, certain abilities ought to be installed. And when it's not installed, it means there's a gap, and that gap in of itself means people may not be able to resolve their own stuff. So I actually teach in a way where I equip you, train you for you to resolve your own stuff, because you also find that many people, because these skills I'm about to talk about, when it's not developed, they start doing emotional dumping. Okay? And so a lot of the times Christians may not realize that the reality and realms that people go church, these that everybody in the religious center talks about, and it's part of the world you're living in, the world of force, it's all about emotional dumping. People dumping, people being triggered, people being agitated, activated, and the enemy playing in the invisible world with when this skill is not pursued and developed, right? What you're going to find are people living in an environment where people are dumping right? Instead of resolving, instead of addressing emotional overload, is that people who are overwhelmed, who are in the dark, who are not able to activate or resolve their own stuff, they are very easy for the enemy to say, that's go after that person, go after that person. And then when they go after that person, the person they went after to dump. So emotional dumping is energetic force, how people go after one another because they are not resolving things with peace. So all of the undercurrents of things going on around in the world, okay, is actually the world of force for force. People in behind the scene passing negativity all over the place. Okay? The amount of negativity is the one that will tell you which one is more toxic than each other. So emotional overload comes when people have been dumped on negative forces, thoughts, assertions, projections, accusations. Listen, the list goes on. Belief system. That is what happens, right? And then what happens in the spiritual dimension is, as people, it's like that dumping starts a little. Once you start, right, then people start encountering bigger dumpers. Principal dumpers, forces that actually carry a boatload of energetic stuff that is not good for the human consumption. Like it's not healthy. And so all of spiritual, this back and forth that people talk about, what it is actually the dumping of negative forces, stories, right, that seeks to manifest the reality in the lives of people. And so these skills I'm about to talk about, that I'm saying everybody needs to develop, sin shall have no dominion over you, is that the sinful behavior, sinful acts of people, knowingly or unknowingly, dumping negativity, psychology, belief system, behavioral pattern on one another, or maybe people carrying it from generation to generation, not resolving it, multiplies this. This is making a mess. The skills that cleans up the mess is the rescue. God will make a way of escape. Is that the skills that cleans up the mess, maybe your own mess or other people's mess or inherited mess or whatever, wherever it's coming from, dimensions, societal, culture, whatever is flying around. These are the skills that resolves that. If foundationally, right, let me even say, if it's not there foundationally, it's what you ought to be working very diligently to acquire. Very diligently. They are power skills. Okay, so let me go to foundation. Why I talk about the family of origin assessment. Okay, so there are certain skills. So I'll talk about original plan, original design, how it's supposed to be, and then what you can do is see the distance between the ideal and your reality, so that you know the gap, what you need to close, the gap you need to close. So the ideal is what I'm going to talk about, is that there are specific skills that children, like the tendency is mothers tend to be the one that installs this feeling, this power. And then there are some that the dad installs, okay? And then the collective unit of the family system installs the third one, okay? So, but depending on the skills of the mom or the dad, it could be one or the other. But I'm saying in general, what is most common, what ought to be. Let me just say what ought to be. Again, I'll say what ought to be, and then you can say, you can then practice this as personal reflection. Okay, so as I'm speaking this, I want you to go into your own story. Okay, your own origin story, compare it to the ideal, and see the gap of what you need to close, and to make yourself whole, to make yourself heal, to bring yourself back to a place of integrity, okay, of security, wholeness. So generally speaking, The skill that children ought to, like, people ought to have gotten from their mom is what we call emotional regulation. And this is what it looks like: the ability for bringing people back from experiencing, when children come into this world, they're coming into a new world that they don't have meaning for, they don't have knowledge about, so they have to test and try things. Somebody has to tell them, don't touch this, touch that, don't do this, right? So teaching and training that's one of the co-creation, co-partnership that God allows family units to participate in the formation and development of a whole human and then collectively society. Okay, so family unit has this responsibility of teaching, right, exposing people in gradual way and telling them what this world looks like. It's like an alien that just came into the world. Okay, and someone is like, hey, listen up, this world you just landed in works like this. Don't touch this, don't touch that, don't touch this, don't touch that, do this way. Okay. The alien is being taught. Oh yes, we're going to have fun. So imagine when the alien experiences a side of the world that they don't have information on how to respond or react, and that experience was not pleasant biologically, and the child goes, meaning, I talk about emotions being the expression of your internal power. It's a communication style. So the child now is in this is what we call dysregulated, shifted from a place of calm and peace and joy when you are enjoying playing, having fun. The child goes from that to dysregulated, taking off peace. The mom then says, okay, right, says, what do you need? What happened? Because the mom is trying to regulate, trying to bring the child back. What do I need to do? How can I serve you in such a way that we resolve whatever happens? And the mom comes with superior information to say, it's okay. Oh yeah, to fix what happened and to mend. You see, to mend, to heal, the healing side, right? To bring back to wholeness. Whenever something goes off, the mom's regulation of, let me heal you, let me bring you back, let me fix what happened, okay? Let me bring calm. So the calming of nerves, when nerves are triggered, like when hormone, something, when something is experienced that is less than ideal, who does the alien child go to say your planet is interesting? Your planet treated me this way. People who live in this planet, maybe the child went to school and the people who live in that school system, they did not they talk to the child. Okay, the child goes back to mama sheep and says, mama sheep, well, I went out exploring this world. These are the people I experienced this. She comes to report. He or she, the child say, mama, and then the mama does the fixing, the healing, the calming of nerves, regulating and saying, it's okay, you're fine, I'll make you fine, you're safe with me, you're right. That's, you are safe with me. When the child explores the world and feels the world is unsafe, and thinks the world is coming after them, and something has happened that is less than ideal, the child is trying to develop its own meaning or its own exploration and conclusion of the world. The child will say, the world is this, the world is that. The mama will say, it's okay, but you are safe with me. Whatever story the mama told about the world, whatever way the mama calmed or didn't calm, that skill is supposed to be passed down. Like the child now is supposed to embody, to now know, right? Because there are two extremes of you're like enjoy, oh, everything is good, everything is good, zero, right? And then extreme of, wow, something happened. And if people are not careful, they form a conclusion. Ah, this world is this world is that, this world is this. So the key then is the system wants to know, your system now wants to know, which one is it? Is the world good or is it not good? Because many people are now holding what we call polarities. That's what causes secure side. The secure side is, oh, the world is fantastic, it is good. The insecure side is, but humans are this, humans are that. That noise making is insecurity. The side that has not been resolved. Because if you bring it to peace, if you calm your nerves, the one that experiences, if you heal it, okay, then every part of you moves back to secure. You keep moving. So you heal from insecurities, you come back to the secure side, and you're living life, and you're living life, and you're living life. And if something happens that tries to come up with, oh, the world is this is that, this is it, somebody says that, okay, but if you have this skill of calming your nerves, healing yourself, telling yourself a story that, okay, you know what, you're fine, right? You're fine with them, you're fine with you, you're fine with the world, you come back to wholeness. But most times, part of emotional overload is that when people keep carrying a lot of unresolved, unhealed nerves, energetic stories of things that was not, so it's a polarity. So it strains the system, right? Because people now move through life carrying fantastic positivity and still carrying a lot of things they've not resolved, they've not brought to this, right? So imagine if people, so the question is, if people were to assess their internal capacity, what percentage is carrying positive stories, positive experiences, and then whatever happened, they haven't resolved? And while I'm doing this as if they're separate, actually in your system, in your bank, it's this. It sits on top of each other. And your system, your scanner, scans from the top. It's because noise maker, the non-healthy stuff, they always rise to the top because they need more attention. They are calling for immediate attention because they are not normal. They were not supposed to remain in people for a long time. So this is one of the things we call spiritually now, people's glory being covered, because the positive side of life that God has resourced them, the good side of life, if they don't resolve this side, it's hidden. They can't, their system, the physical system cannot access it until this one is cleaned off. So when people wake up in the morning, the first thing people are going to naturally get is the top that needs immediate attention, because it's a manual process. Why is it a manual process? Remember Christian, right? Philosophy. Remember Genesis. God shared with right, Adam and Eve, do not eat this apple, this, right, apple from this tree, knowledge of good and evil. Is that your system does not separate this so that it can scan this and scan it. It's actually, it's one in one memory bank. Okay, it's the same. It's like your one computer. It's the same hard drive. It's the same system. It doesn't separate this from this. You will need to manually. Don't expose your system to this and this. God asked for you good. This one you need to manually resolve, manually clean up. It's like brush your teeth. The teeth doesn't brush itself. Right? It's like you have a system that expects you to know what you are doing, because your system was designed and made by God for God's spirit that has knowledge and power. So God made you in his image and he knows what he's doing, and you are to study to show yourself approved. You are supposed to have, that's why I said the ideal. Everybody's supposed to have the skill of regulation, of cleaning up, healing, right? And by the way, sin was not even supposed to be part of the equation of life. I hope you understand. If people did or keep doing what God says, His will, His way, then everything is good. Everything God is doing for you is good. However, disobedience. Don't do this, people do. Go here, they don't go. That has an effect on people's system. Part of the effect is overload. People who are loading up stories, energies that is not meant for human system. Okay? Your ability to gain the skills now of resolving when you know it's not good for you. The skill of, say, somebody teaching you how to brush your teeth is because you know you are living in the world, you are not of the world. The world behaves a certain way. When you eat and everything, the mouth doesn't wash itself. It's not self-cleaning. So I'm also saying, just like your computer is not self-cleaning, you have an internal system that is not self-cleaning. It takes everything you put in there is there. Everything you've absorbed is there, is waiting for you. So overload is when are you going to regulate what's dysregulated? So it's not two distinct parts of people, is that it's one system, one vessel carrying stories of good news and people who carry something else. And that's why the truth that will set you free is because this is also connecting people to realms and dimensions and repeating patterns and manifesting realities and all of that even by God's mercy, people's system gets slowed down so that they don't even produce. So many people get stuck because the stories they are carrying at the top, God doesn't want it to, right? If the thoughts people are having, if all of it is manifesting, who's going to remain in this world? People who just blink and want people to disappear. If God answered that prayer, then nobody will remain now. You understand? The lack of discipline in many people who send negative vibes. If they could actually, if their wishes were true, come on. Thank God doesn't make certain people's wishes come true. But you carry the system that does produce. Okay? So the resistance is the key. So emotional regulation is that skill of resolving and telling a good news story, finding the truth, calming your nerves, bringing calm, bringing peace, right? And please understand, when I talk about peace, Christianity is that this peace we are talking about is a force that pushes back and breaks old. So it's not, because the older people get, the force of energy multiplies, it intensifies, it gains momentum. Force, mass times acceleration, is that the speed of energetic vibration, the speed of your own spiritual power, your own spiritual force. Emotion is the regulation of your own power, and then also the power of other people. You are a powerful being, don't mistake it. Yes? So, and other people too, the force of their will, their spiritual power. Oh, listen, that's what creates emotional state. And if people, and what God is saying, Bible, right? The fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, self-control. Is that the Spirit of truth, the Spirit of revelation, the Spirit of God in human form. This is what you are supposed to cultivate, which is also regulation. Regulate yourself back to love. Regulate yourself back to peace. Regulate yourself back to humility. Regulate yourself back to goodness. To heal yourself is to come back to your divine nature, where you are not programming your central nervous system, your endocrine system, your psychological thinking pattern, your spiritual vessel. Guard your heart, renew your mind, change the content of your inner reality, heal it. That is actually, you need the power of God to get that. This is what Jesus said He died for. This peace I'm talking about, so that you understand that this skill is the most powerful skill everybody needs to cultivate, and you actually need to, it's an exercise of spiritual power to overcome other powers that want to keep people down, overwhelm people, overload people. That's sinful behavior, taking people down to a realm. Because to bring people back up, to restart your computer, to reset yourself, it's only the force of God that can pull those heavy energy that is not meant for human. It's a bigger power that can say, leave, get out of here. And that's what I'm saying. Mamas do that. Mamas. They do that physical. They also do that spiritually. Sending funky away. So that's regulation. So these skills are the most important skill ever. Everybody needs it. Regulation. If something comes and tells you a story or triggers you or do this or this, your ability to recover from it, your comeback story, your ability to refuse to stay down, to come back up and look and send that thing away from your life. That's regulation. Because it's energy, it's force for force. It's right, it's force for force. The force of a mother to chase back and say, right, and to say, we will deal with that. Who did that? Mother hen, you understand? That's the side of God. The protective side, the healing side, the recovery side, the restoration side. To tell a story that heals you and sets you free from the hand and claws of stuff that wants to tell a story. Well, the biggest story is Jesus has set you free, and to open your mouth and say you be free. It's a conversation that carries the force of spirit, and the power of God regulates you, heals you, sets you free. You better have that thing inside you. You need it for life. So so mamas will say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. That it's okay. You have to have it for yourself. Because your emotional needs, they increase as you get older. It's like you were eating milk. Now, right? You need more capacity for that one skill called emotional regulation to bring yourself back to peace. Because this, what happens is, if it is not installed, people keep seeking it out. That's what people are seeking out. Pray for me, do this for me. Is that when people are in an overwhelm and they don't have that skill installed, it's an installation. That installation people ought to have been helped from foundation. I'm saying if you didn't hear that voice, that soothing voice, it's okay. It's okay. Come back. Let it go. Release that energy. Right? Shake it off. Right? Heal yourself. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll deal with it. We've dealt with it. And then the child starts smiling away. Smiling again. Okay? And whether it's a lollipop, whatever the mom gives to replace to wash the discomfort away. And then the mom gives maybe lollipop or does something nice and brings the child to a place of joy and happiness, and that the child doesn't even, the memory washes itself away, right? It's washed away. You see? There's no energy carrying that saying it isn't resolved. Once it has been resolved, the system doesn't hold it. Anything that is resolved and addressed with peace, it's not carried into the future. The system only carries what is held, a record of wrong. Okay? So emotional regulation helps you not to carry a record of wrong. It's not that it didn't happen. It's that you are not holding that story. You're not carrying it, so you're not going to produce it in the future. You're not going to see it again. You just let it go, and it really washes. It's like a shower. It's like waking up fresh and taking a shower. It's not that you didn't go through this world, oxidation, the exposure of this realm, but it is when you enter a shower, you wash away the dirt, the exposure to this alien world. Where people behave, people are trying to find their way, and then people bump each other because people who are dysregulated, who haven't resolved it, they are dumping. Knowingly or unknowingly. In fact, some people who even go and disturb the ecology, go and disturb fish and the systems, and then come into the natural world and dump on people again. That's why I tell you, the people you say, and I held the session, I said, who is the enemy? Pray for them, because they too, they are emotionally disturbed. Nobody sits around in a dark corner, pulling up somebody else's name and trying to dump on somebody in the middle of, like, these are this. Yeah, something glitched. And I'm saying, unglitch it. Record of wrong. Please, Lord, help us. Okay, so it's a reset. Calms the nerves, brings peace, regulates the emotion, resets it, releases oxytocin and the scientific hormones that it washes sin away. Right? What Jesus came, washing the sin. Eh? If you know what I'm trying to create a visual. Sin needs to be washed away from people's vessels. It's like brushing your teeth. Wash germs away. Leaving it there compounds. Plaque, right? How many 6 months later? You now have somebody will now be trying to right? Something that could have been easily washed away. Now you need muscle. And so a lot of the times that's why many people go into church arena and everything, and it's the muscle they are looking for. Who has the spiritual power and force and muscle to be excavating years and years and 30 years, whatever stuff that is going on in the atmosphere. This thing is, I'm trying to be very practical, but I'm saying everybody needs this skill, because that's what Jesus is saying. Come unto me, all ye who are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Everybody needs rest, and it is emotional regulation. Okay, and that regulation is actually pushing back the energy that disturbed. It's in the spiritual, it is a force. It has an identity. It has an entity. It has a mission. These things are not random. Is that their force is gravity is a force. Wind is a force. If you go out and the wind blows you somehow, you have to come back and shake it off. So there are forces, there are elements, there is force going around, but then there is human. The one that is interesting is human force, the thoughts, the will of people. That is a miscalculation. It's a mathematical miscalculation or deliberate right, sending people anyway. So mamas tend to be the one that installs this feeling that people can use to continue to heal themselves, continue to encourage themselves, to continue to move through life. If something goes, the boss says something, your colleague says something, your team member says something, don't just internalize it. Learning how to release it and keep moving through life happy. This is a happy skill, right? This is a happy skill. The happy skill is you know how to wash away nonsense, and you also know how to avoid nonsense. Like, don't be asking for stuff you don't like. So this is a happy skill. Happiness comes from you being able to regulate yourself. Is that everybody's living in the world. The difference is who is regulating themselves back to joy and happiness, and who is stuck in a pattern of story and moving in the world, not happy, not regulated, not resolving things they are encountering, because they attract it more, they encounter it more, they invite more of it. The happy state is you can go out, come back, heal yourself, eat good food, sleep very well, come back again. And just understand the rhythm of life, the rhythm of your own rhythm, other people's rhythm. And when you see people vibrating, you know how to and if they look at you funky, you're like sorry, and you can smile back at them, because it's not you to be engaging. People who are happy don't emotionally dump. There's nothing to dump. You resolved it. Happy people don't dump. They bring joy and peace to other people. Shalom, peace be unto you. Yes, they move around peacefully. It's not that it's not that they don't know real life. Listen, they see it. They even probably have seen more. That's the interesting thing. Happy people, they are overcomers. That's the overcoming skill. Is that you overcame. So you can laugh and be happy and move on and say, she, yeah, God is good. When you exercise the power of God upon the earth, you understand that God's power, Team Jesus win. We win every time. Okay. So that is one skill that everybody needs. If somebody didn't install it in you, come and install it. That's why I teach it in my school. You need it. If you're an entrepreneur, you know anything, don't let things be tricky. Even if something, you are expecting something, and it's about approaching life as a student of life, learning from it, all of that. That is the second skill. So now the second skill that everybody, generally speaking, dad's masculine provides that skill. So one is resetting, calming nerves. You see, the second one is the power. It's what I call emotional processing. This is where an analytical approach to resolving and seeking to understand. Mom may not see. Mom just wants to regulate and calm and say, "Don't cry again." Dad may come, tell me what happened, because now there's an analytical side to, so that it won't happen again. What do we need to fix? What part of your behavior? What led you? Right? This is how do we correct this? Because if you don't correct it, you go again, you come back, you cry. Right? It's like many people repeat if they don't learn a lesson. Like, what lesson did the child need to learn from what happened that dysregulated them, so that they don't do it again? If somebody touch, don't touch, you touch. Well, I told you not to touch it. That's the correct side of a dad. Did you listen to me? I told you, don't go there. You went. Now you are back. Well, your mommy would calm your nerves, but dad will correct. Don't do that again. Learning a lesson so that you don't repeat what led you to in a direction that was not good for you. There are many things to it. This fixes the internal programming, so you then it makes the child update their system. So there's calming of nerves, there is updates. Now you know this person is not your friend. Now you know if this person told you to do this, you won't say yes to it. Now you have learned a lesson. So now that you have learned the lesson, update your system. Right? So fathers know how to update. You learn so that it doesn't, because many people they may keep having the same conversation with the same person for how many years. When are you going to learn that person is not listening to you? Like, when are you going to just back out? When are people going to learn that the approach they are taking is not working? Right? So fathers help children wake up, grow up, reset. And something else fathers help people to do is to try again, try another way. It's like, okay, they come up with strategy. So fathers come up with, I'm generalizing again. It's a skill that needs to be installed. Okay, yesterday you went here, the teacher said this. Okay, tomorrow, try saying that and see if that works better. If it gets you a different result, the father would listen. Okay, come and update me. How did it go? This. Did it work? If it didn't work, you say, okay, let's try another method. If they say this, say that. If they say that, say this. So fathers are updating the system, the pattern of thinking, the logic must be built on solid story. And so if fathers take time out to help people recalibrate their approach to going into the world and coming back, the road network they are doing, how they are vibrating, the things they are saying, when fathers help people correct that and update that and reset that, with kindness, because we know there are other funkiness. A kind father that can say, try this, try that, is trying to teach and trying to guide. And this approach of try again, try it this way. If somebody comes at you this way, go this way. If somebody does the reports to the principal, this strategy of helping people get the ideal results the next time. Okay, this time you didn't get the ideal results. You came back, okay, we want to make sure whoever is in that school talking to you somehow, we want to make sure that person got some back. Do we report to the principal? Do we teach you how to do this? Right? The father will come up with a strategy to help their child win in life. Fathers create winners. I'm generalizing. You see, it's like people go into there's a program in my school, 12 strategies, the game plan, 12 strategies for winning in life and business. One of it is me saying, adopt the mindset of a champion. If you are going to go into the ring to start punching people, if that is your business, you need somebody to be wiping your face. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. You can show them. You can win this match. You are going to punch people. People will punch you back. That's your business. You need somebody on your side that will be wiping the sweat away and be pumping you up. Go and show them. Yes. Get ready to take some more and give some more. You need that. That's mama, caregiver, caretaker. In the name of Jesus. The second part is the person that will now say, okay, the swing you swung was not strong enough. Open your eyes and hit the target. Don't be swinging and not looking. If you want to hit know the direction, know where you want to punch very well. Open your eyes, don't close. Give it hard. So that you see the person wins and say, "Ooh, yes," and you smile like, yes, you take that back. So that's strategy. So you don't just need somebody saying it's okay. Yeah, the person will wipe, but the one that will say, as you are going back there, if the guy comes like this, dodge. If they come like this, dodge, and then give them uppercuts. Those are the strategists. You need that. People who don't have strategy for winning, they'll be people will be bumping them, and they'll say, don't do that. They will now go into a relationship. They will say the guy did this. The guy is because they don't have a back end support. People who don't have back end support, some people would will be smacking them anyhow, and you are not smacking back. Somebody didn't teach you. Somebody did not teach you not to tolerate nonsense. You see what I'm saying? Everybody needs that skill. Like, if you go to a workplace and a boss come left field at you, game how you will get a message back to that boss. He won't try it again. Real life. If anybody comes for you in the workplace, for you to sit down and rule and be at peace, you need strategies, and you need suiting regulation. And if you are married, as example, married people need this. Because to be going out and coming in and bringing in, money, everything, you are facing a world out there. You are facing a world. So find peace inside your home, find joy inside your home, and then come up with who will suit who will good food with rest and peace, and who will go out there and come up with a strategy to come back home. This is organized. You have to have this type of skill. And if somebody is telling you funky business in the workplace, come back home and report them. And then come up with a strategy. Okay, this person did this person said that. One person will have to say, calm down, it's okay, don't mind them. But what is the strategy? What is our comeback strategy that these people will not try this thing again? You need to be handling life like that. If a boss comes at you or is doing funky, you need strategy. Whether you go and report them to the bosses, you need a place that will settle your affairs. When people don't have these skills, they will now be saying, the boss is this. Show the boss who you are. That the same is that this heaven and earth, your father in heaven owns it. And drag them. Anybody that wants to drag you, anybody that wants to drag you, drag them. With a smile on your face. With a wink. As they are dragging you, telling your story there, you know where you will drag them. And they will call them, as they are calling you, somebody else bigger than them will call them. So that Somebody sometimes need to pull people off your back. Emotional overload. Don't let a boss overload you with what? Who are they? Like, somebody needs to pull them off you. Somebody bigger than them. Those are the people you need to be searching for in your organization. If they come for you because they think they can, no, listen, you have to understand that people pick their size. Like, everybody's system can scan who they think they can, who they think they can throw off, force for force. I'm saying one of the way of escape is a child will go to the father. Yes, when you know your father, and the father will defend the child and then teach the child how to constantly win. Your father in heaven does that constantly. Your father in heaven, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. He does that for his children, Team Jesus. If you are Team Jesus, be reporting people. He's bigger than all of these people. Tell your father to yank some people off your back. To deal with them very well. Earthly father ought to have showed you that he's got your back. That he will defend you, he will teach you, he will guide you. That's emotional processing. Telling the story of what happened. And then coming up with a strategy of what you want to see happen. You see, some people want you to be in an emotional state. Like, your car not starting. Oh, don't do that. That may be their wish. Have your own superior desire to win and overcome. You see, anybody can sit around and say, oh, this, that person is this. That's their own psychology, you understand? People have their own stuff going. Fine. They want this, they want that, they want that. Don't stand in their way. Don't stand in the way of sinners. Don't sit in the seat of scornful. But make sure they too are not in your way. In this your journey of life. Make sure they are not in your way. That's force for force. And do it with a smile. Do it with a smile, because most of it is invisible. You are living in a world where people don't show. In the physical world, everybody's smiling. So learn how to smile. Learn how to be polite. Learn how to move with peace. But anybody that tries funky business, drag them. Fathers know how to teach you how to drag them, because it builds confidence, it builds strength, it builds capacity, and it also builds resilience. Learn how to push back. Smile or push back. You can be in the conference room and you are speaking and somebody wants to interrupt you. Excuse me, I'm still speaking. When I'm done, I'll pass the mic. Smile. Like, do that. Do that a few times. Nobody will interrupt you again. I'm telling you. Don't go and be saying, hey, do you believe it? This person interrupts you. Well, even if you're going to say it, always come up with a strategy where you will get your own way. Right? Where you will get what you want. If it is respect, if it is honor, if it is a space that hears your voice, what do you want? What is the strategy of getting what you want? If it is peace, then pray. Engage. Be strategic. So those are two skills that foundationally, if it is installed, if it is not installed, install it. I'm just giving you an example. Because emotional overload is when people take on more than they should take on. And they think it is their responsibility to be jumping around, running around for who? Many people, it could be marriage. Some people are emotionally overloaded because the societal script that doesn't favor a certain gender will be telling you, oh yeah, people should be dumping on you. People will now be running all over the place. For what? For what? Somebody didn't teach you that you are not the one to be carrying the load of people. I mean, there are some societal scripts that create emotional overload for certain genders. Interrogate that thing very well. I pray you ought not to even be. Let me tell you, if people understood this thing and this thing was installed, people's system ought to have warned them not to even put themselves in the state or in the affairs or in places or in the hands of people that will emotionally dump on them. That's one of the warning when we say red flags, right? Is that if you have the skills, calm, peace, you will love it. It will be your normal state. Love, joy, peace will be your normal state. If you grew up in a loving environment, where peace was normal, anything that disturbs you, you know it's not normal. You see my point? It will be a deviation from calm. That's one of the things that happens in later in life, is that if people were raised with regulatory environment, peaceful environment, it's not that you're shielded. Is that you are given a skills and you're given a perception that you overcome. That calm and peace is what you should be pursuing constantly, and you should be recalibrating and bringing yourself back and regulating yourself. That even if you go here, somebody says you come back to peace. That's why a lot of people gist and say, that person did that. It's like suiting. When you have this environment that talks about what is going on and finds resolution and calms and laughs about it and play, then you are growing the skill of life, that person again. So you lighten the load. There's no overload because you are using laughter, right? And reality, like this is life. Humans are human. It's just for you to develop how to navigate real life so that other people's stuff does not. You are lightening the load. You are off. You know how to throw away. When people come like this, you know how to throw, right? Because societies where you actually entertain people, you hear all kinds of gist and talk, and you will be so much more enlightened about real life. Nothing will surprise you. And once you are more exposed to real life and you know how to regulate, handle real life and regulate. So people are not stuck when real life happens and they're like, what is this? No. You've already been informed and enlightened that real life sounds a certain way. It is for you to develop the skills where you overcome and you overstand and you have the skills of pushing back nonsense. That's the defense system. It's not that real life is not, but when people who are living in fantasy, nobody told them to real life. When real life, they'll be like, they don't know what to do with real life. Yes? So when the skill of bringing yourself back to peace is developed, it allows people to be regulating. This is what we call executive functioning skills, right? It's not that things are not habits, right? Pilots have this training. They are trained to fly, but they are also trained to regulate themselves so that they handle their business and they stay calm. But they know real life. And to handle real life, they stay calm. They know how to do hello, Roger, we need, right? They are told to regulate themselves, and also their voice, they are told and trained how to regulate and talk to person. Okay, steady guys, we are going to do good, it's okay. And they will be by faith saying everything is going to be okay. That is a skill for life. The other skill is why you are saying okay. Do you have the strategy and the skill to bring your plane? To ride it? If you hear boo, you know, we are riding this. So that's practicality. The masculine brings that. And feminine, the females need that's so a woman and a man need both of this. But I'm saying tendency is one comes from a mom, one comes from a dad. That's fine. But it can be, right? I'm just generalizing that. But every human, male or female, needs regulation and needs strategy of how do we move forward. You clean up, you advance. You clean up, you move forward. They dump, you clean it up, you move forward. You come back. You don't, fathers don't let, people are learning how to ride a horse. If the horse throws you down, the fathers will not tell you, go. No. Clean up. Get back up. Clean up. Ride it again. You are going to learn how to ride this life. Okay? The third skill is under this umbrella of communication. I just put into one umbrella there. That's why in the emotional healing program, part of the program, there's a program there on communication, right? Because self-expression, okay, so there's self-regulation, okay, emotional regulation, there's emotional processing. What do you do? Okay, after you hear all this story, okay, let's put this story to a nice ending where somebody may start a story, you put it to an end. A boss can start a funky story, I will finish it up. Yeah, I'll finish it for you where I get promoted. You understand? So other people can start their own story, they can start talking about you, they can start this. You can't control what they start, but surely you can control how this story finishes. That's what Jesus did. He finished it nicely. He finished that story, rose up again and say, yeah, power, take your power back. That's what our God Father. Here is your power. Go and deal. You are here to deal and smack some smackables. This emotional expression is a communication skill. How do you express your desire in a way where you get it? It's a fundamental skill. This is where please, thank you, I'm sorry lives in. Right? Is that those three words, right? Many people think it's just for children. Full grown adults today think about marriage and relationship and friends. How many people know how to say they're sorry? How many people even acknowledge that they did something? They will think you are the one that did something. You know, people's psychology now is like, you did this to me. What did you? When you, right, this skill, this emotional expression skill, okay, let me tell you, it comes out of your ability to regulate, your ability to correct, to self-correct. People who don't self-correct, who don't self-regulate, they blame everybody else. And so their communication and expression is outwardly facing negatively. That's one of the things that happen, is that people who feel entitled, who don't correct themselves, who don't regulate themselves, who don't have self-control, they are moving through life with a conclusion that they are good, other people are the issue. No. Until you are ready to acknowledge the part you played, whether you put yourself in the state, whether it is other people, it doesn't even matter. Is that you are co-creating a reality, positively or negatively. Your part of that story is the one you can fix. Let other people own their stuff and you own their stuff, but don't own other people's stuff. Don't put it, right? So this is the skill of back out, assess yourself. What did you do? What room did you make? What door did you open that even allowed this? What did you do and what could you do better? And then your expression is a demonstration of the deeper inner work you have done. People who express themselves in non-positive ways, they've not done inner work. Right? People who come out and say, they've not assessed, they've not looked in the mirror, they've not told themselves. Because if you do all of that healing work, all of that internal work, you will already have found peace. And once you have found peace, you can actually come out to own yourself and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put you in that state. In fact, you can also tell yourself you are sorry to yourself that you didn't listen to the word of God. That when God was warning you, don't do this, don't do this. So self-correction allows us to express, I'm sorry. It allows us to say, thank you, I appreciate you. It also allows us to say, right, please. And anybody that hasn't done any of this inner work, they'll struggle with, I'm sorry. They'll struggle with saying thank you, because entitled people don't think they owe anybody gratitude. And please, people who are lacking boundary, who think they can control other people, they don't say please. They just badge in. They just badge out. They just badge in. Somebody didn't tell them, right? Jesus said, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Is that the purpose of please, right? Thank you, right? Please, let me have this. Please, can I have this? Right? It's actually respect and honor for the other people's spaces. People who dishonor people people's spaces, people's atmosphere, people's environment, people's calm and peace, right? They emotionally dump. They are the ones overloading people with the responsibility of the after effects, the cleanup of the after effect of their badge, of their dysregulated emotions, of how they treat people, right? And so how people express themselves emotionally will immediately tell you if they are internally regulated, if they've internally resolved their stuff, or they want to make it the business of somebody else. And this is where your own wisdom, right? Because nice people, they open the door. They open the door. They create a pattern where everybody knows their baggage. Drop your baggage there. That is one of the things that anybody that doesn't have these fundamental skills of close your door, it's not your responsibility to be carrying other people's baggage. Nice people think, who people please, they become the dumping. They are the ones that have a lot of emotional overload because they are trying to please this person. You don't know that pleasing person is you are carrying their ego, their dirty stuff, their forces, their toxicity. So you now find out people who say niceness is not the fruit of the spirit. Guard your heart, for out of it are the issues of life. People who don't guard their hearts, who don't have a strategy of how to win, who do not know how to clean up, they go here naive. They are naive. Don't be naive. Naive is a state where it is lacking spiritual intelligence. It's seriously, like, you're supposed to gather intelligence before you start doing relationship with people. People who are naive, they make assumptions that whatever anybody tells them is the truth. Which world are you living in? You don't know, everybody masked, everybody is branded, everybody is showing their best self. You interrogate, you pray, whether with prayer or anything, you need to dive deeper into the heart of the matter behind all these nice colors, nice things people want to do, right? Because a lot of the things people present is to make people not dig deeper. So they present their best self to win people over. It's like the web, to attract people, to magnetize people. And so people who are naive and nice and make assumptions that what people present is the true identity, they're the ones who fall into the trap. And when things start dumping, the spiritual research people didn't do, here you go on. So people will not be dealing with the nonsense from other people. So don't be naive. Investigate. Gather spiritual intelligence. Be like, let your system scan your environment very, very well. And everybody's stinky be right well. Holy Spirit will generally warn you. Will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. You carry the Spirit of God that tells you the truth. If you would listen. It can start out with intuition. You may not have the real data point of exactly what is off, but your system will tell you that's off. That behavior, that blink, that word is off. That person is off. He's trying to tell you, stay away. Whatever puts that person off wants to off other people. It runs in lines. The forces look at other people in society and dump on them. And so emotional overload, to fix it, is you need emotional regulation, you need emotional processing skills, and then emotional expression, which is your communication skill. You need to up that game. And all of that is included in the Emotional Healing Spiritual Cleansing Guide workbooks. And then in particular, the first stage on that journey, so you can start that first stage, you can also go all in on that journey, a year. The first stage that I say people need to immediately go into is with what I just shared about the tendency of what mothers install, fathers install. Okay, your communication back and forth with, when you face your mom when you were young, how did you communicate? What vibes, what feelings did you experience? Fathers, what feelings because that's where your emotional blueprint is. That's where you were formed. That's how you are doing life. You take it into the world. And so healing that, because I won't put a percentage to it, but most of what people will encounter later in life, go back and heal, do the assessment of your family of origin, who you became because of what you experienced, because of where you came from, because of what shaped you. Own that. And what you're also going to own is the strength right? Many times people think they can walk away from the past, please understand spiritually, energetically, emotionally, you are carrying a copy of your past. You don't walk away from your DNA or your history and your stories. You are carrying it. It's on you. It's in your systems, in your body, it's in your filing cabinet. So what you think is 30 years ago is on you. It's in your memory. You can close your eyes now and recall memory because the story is alive. It's many people when I teach on the concept of time and how you right is that you are traveling through space in time. The earth is rotating in time, but the space you are occupying, you are collecting stories, you are storing it, you are keeping it. The key is what are you keeping in your cabinet and how heavy is it, and can you offload it, clean it, cleanse it, and relieve your system of things that you don't want to produce anymore, of movies you have finished. So that assessment, and I also encourage spouses to do it both because your lineage, your gene pool, your behavior, your psychology is informed, your spirituality is drawn from your source. And as long as you are still connected to it, you are carrying it around, you are energetically wired, you are entangled in it until you individuate, you separate, you gain self-agency, and this is your spiritual business. And whatever is not installed, once you start going deeper into those workbooks, you will now realize what you are now responsible for. And this is your maturity. Because many times people make other people responsible for what they didn't get from their family of origin. They now transfer it to a spouse. They transfer it to religious pastors. They will now be chasing pastors and say, pastor, do this, pastor, do that. Pastor. Is the pastor going to install how you regulate yourself? Is the pastor going to correct you? Is the pastor going to teach you how to communicate and express yourself? Is that the job of a pastor? Or is that the job of a spouse? Or is that the job of your boss? So whose job is it to learn the skills? And in fact, if it is not installed, your family of origin that didn't get that memo, that didn't create the environment where you could express your truth and say no and say yes and individuate into an individual that is formed, that is strong, that can face people and say I'm not part of that can resist nonsense. If you didn't get that power to resist nonsense and they dished nonsense on you and you are carrying it, please stop carrying it. You don't have to carry it anymore. Jesus said, come unto me, all you are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. There is rest promised for God's people. Take it. It's an offer. Rest is an offer. Rest is an offer. Okay, as I start wrapping up now, what people call emotional stuff, don't be ignorant of the devil's devices, is that emotionally dysregulated, emotionally immature, emotionally triggered, emotionally whatever emotional states people are in, if they don't have these three skills, the people who don't have these three skills, they are very toxic. I wish I could just all of the stuff, all of it, of the stuff happening in this world. This what I'm sharing today. It's because spirituality and emotional development, they go hand in hand, because emotions is how you spend your spiritual power. Everything God gives people, the power God gives people, is giving them power to create positivity. Whatever makes people use it to create negativity and carry negativity, that is the sin. And that stuff is not good for people's health, people's body, people's wealth, people's relationship. It's not good. It's not good for you. God created good things for you. Staying in that lane and learning how to stay there is the most important thing. Right? And not learning how to, like, this is the main work. Anybody that is going to rule, that is going to lead, that is going to ascend, this is emotional skills that helps you ascend. because you're going to deal with you yourself and people. Yes, and people come with all the things they are carrying, and they express themselves in the way they know how to. It's easier to do life with people who have these regulatory skills. They won't make their stuff your business. They won't say you are responsible for their own dysregulated emotion. They won't blame you. They won't pour their junk on you. They will manage their business. They will make room for you. They will create space for you, and you can thrive and they can thrive. So when you see relationships, it's rooted in that. When you see people, okay, making money is easier when you can regulate yourself. Health. Many people may not realize emotional overload is energy overload, negative energy, negative forces. And where those things hide is in muscles, organs, endocrine system, and in the cellular structure. And if I connect this to what churches talk about, setting people free, all of those things, what you are setting people free is this. Because when people are not regulated, when people are carrying negative stories in their system, literally it turns their light off. Parts of people turn dark. In that dark space, it invites the noise, right? It invites funky. Funky. Right? Right? Dysregulated emotions that is not resolved for a long time makes room for nonsense and more of it. And then it spreads and spreads. There's a spiritual side to that. There's also a health side to that. What then happens to the parts of the body that is not being resourced with the anointing that's supposed to be flowing from the endocrine system? Because sin, it does negativity of any kind, wherever it came from. I'm saying wash it. It's like brush your teeth. The longer you don't brush your teeth, it makes room for nonsense. You see, the longer people don't resolve their emotional inner reality, it makes room for nonsense. It shows up in health. It shows up in wealth. It shows up in their relationship. And the enemy wants people to be going back and forth and making negative noise because it attracts more nonsense. So that's why it's so important. Like, this resolves a lot of the things people are doing that just creates noise. Yeah. It's negative unresolved energy. It's negative energy, negative forces programmed to create a reality. All the funkiness of Funky Club, if they want to go after anybody, you know what they will start with? Is emotional overload. They program cat, dog, boo, energies. They say do this, do that, and then they throw it. And they say go and overwhelm and overload that person, take that person's system down, occupy. Like it's that's why I said, when you understand that this is the solution, what I'm telling you, do this work, that's the solution for that club. It's emotional overload is what takes people's power grid down. To bring your power grid up is to regulate yourself back, is to correct the programming that was installed by Funky Club. This skill that a father gives is to the resistance. No, quiet it. Another one, to be able to quiet the noises one by one for however long it takes you, right? Because part of it, to be able to do this work, if people are emotionally overloaded and they are running around carrying that load, it's not right. To rest is part of a strategy that brings back immunity, health immunity, right? Because when people are carrying negative energy that is not meant for humans, it's not good for human body, it's not good for human endocrine system, it's not good for your muscles, you are not supposed to be doing that work, God didn't give you that responsibility. When imagine overwhelm, church is like carry this, and people are galloping. God is like, align, you ain't designed for that. Why are you doing that? Rest. God always invites you into rest. God always invites you into forgiveness. God always invites you into detachment. God always invites you into not carrying the responsibility you are not designed to carry. The key is you are not designed to carry. No matter what a culture says, no matter what a spiritual whoever orchestrator says, no matter which family whatever says, no matter who gives permission for nonsense, your ability to be spiritually intelligent is to resist and unsubscribe from such dimensions of people who don't care about people's safety, emotional well-being, who keeps on loading. They just want you to be performing and galloping and performing and galloping and performing and galloping. Until when? Well, if they are trying to load you, don't you want to learn how to offload? Don't let people mess you up. And don't mess up yourself by tolerating nonsense. I speak the way I speak for a very, very good reason. Because you are in this, people are heavy laden. Big time. And they are galloping. Part of, just so you know, when I pointed back to family, just so you know, I speak this way. I come from dimensions where I host rulers, all of those things. I've shared before, right? Childhood, going to playing at House of President, military president, having the mother-in-law of one of the richest people back then of the nation. Me as my neighbor, we used to exchange romance novel. She's old. One of the things I remember in her room, it always smells perfume. Like the perfume is like strong. Go into that room is like, and then she has suitcase of novels and novels. She packs it, and I'll go in, pick 4, read it, come back. This is the mother-in-law of the richest back then, like private jets, all this in Africa. So don't like for my like first lady, the cousin, friend, my best friend was a princess, ruling class, ruling king, queen, like childhood. So you can understand that shapes it shapes when you, right. I enjoy a kind of lifestyle. Yeah, let's call it lifestyle. And yeah, I just want to the way I sound no nonsense is because if you tolerate anybody that accept nonsense, they will dump it on them. You have to know the world you are living in. And the key is they can try. These are the skills rulers use. You have to undo your stuff and then undo whenever God says rule or lead, you are going to lead the spiritual dimension and the emotional needs of people. So every human has emotional needs. When needs are not met, who do people become? When life doesn't present with the assumptions people make, who did they become? That's the test of character. It's not when everything is going people's way that they are smiling. Everybody can do that. The character is exposed when people are dysregulated, when they are not having their way, or they're trying to produce a result and it's not clicking. You're an entrepreneur, right? In the real trenches, in the real dynamics of life, of leadership, this is real life. Who do people become? Is connected to what skills do they have, right? Is that when real thing, right? How do you rise up? How do you come back? How do you engage? How do you address things that you don't let it defeat you? You don't let it change who you are. That's part of healing. You see it for what it is. You heal it. It's real life. It's funky. That's real life. But God giving you the skills to engage with real life, that's the way to ascend in life. It's not escapism, right? Real life, right? This is not escapism, living in disassociated people who are not connected with their body or their life. They are not, their feelings, they are not in tune. No, 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 no. You feel it, you see it, and then you let it move. You have the skills of okay, that was that. Ooh, interesting. It requires you actually to sit tight with discomfort. The discomfort of stuff. Stuff the stuff. Sometimes God will say, take it for the team. Because you have the washing formula. There are many, 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 many things going on in the world. Many. The higher you go, the more you will be exposed, so that you just, God wants you to grow up into knowledge and power. And to do that, you engage and stuff would let me know. I try to laugh and stuff, right? I will give you tools, I'll tell you, and then I'll say, even if you don't think you need this now, keep this video, bookmark it, save. This is the kind of video you save. Okay? Because life is life. To come out on the other side and be laughing with winning trophies, that is God. It takes God for that. Don't let life take you down because you are not awake to handle your stuff. Because the other side of quantum entanglement is that the stuff that was dumped, that overwhelms people, is actually connected to people yanking and pulling people spiritually. They want to, I won't paint the full picture, but trust me, a fisherman who baits people, who baits a fish, throws it, he wants to catch a fish, he is pulling the fish. Pulling the fish, right? And the fish is trying to pull. Who will win? The one with the bigger force. So in spiritual affairs, if the fish knows how to remove the hook, the fish is free. It's not to be complaining, who did that? No, no, no. The skill is God helping you know how to clean up, wash up with the power of God. So that's what I call it, spiritual cleansing. Cleansing yourself of psychological patterns, belief system that makes people experience lower dimension realities. Baggage of the past is one of the biggest one. Is that whatever skills, whatever wasn't resolved, the next generation continues until somebody resolves it. DNA, your inherited patterns of behavior. That's where I say start there. Start there. Wealth creation, all of those things is built on your emotional regulation. Right? So stuff, other people's stuff rolls into the next generation, and the next generation has to deal with the forces and energy and reality. Right? So my message to you is brace up, particularly in these times. This kind of message is very timely because there's more dumping in the atmosphere, particularly generational power shift. There's a switch over. I hope you understand that there's a switch over in the spiritual realms of power and responsibility. There's a generation that, I won't go there, that's another topic, but please just understand that the times you're in, the atmosphere is saturated, so many things are shifting over all at the same time. Families are switching over, businesses are switching over, communities are switching over, politics systems are switching over, financial systems, companies are switching over, political structure of the entire world is switching over, religious centers are switching over. The entire world is moving in a dimension that has never been experienced. You are in a state where more pressure, more spiritual pressure, more forces are moving in because many people have become open doors. Right? Open doors are people who are emotionally negatively attempting to satisfy a desire. When we talk about frequencies, low frequency, high frequency, consider emotional overload as low frequency energetic realities, negative forces, toxicity loaded up on people, not peace, not joy, not right. And then in this world now, imagine where people are turning more towards low frequency, this and this, right? So they are calling in energies of past times that know how to dish out negativity very, very well, that went dormant. Because when societies heal, God said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, turn from their wicked ways, seek his face, then he will heal the land. When people say they don't want to turn to God, they want to turn to something else, or they rise up thinking they can do this, do that, all the things they will do and pour on the land is that they open doors to more negative forces to come into society. And then those things are flying in the air, in the news, in the right. It's now saturated, right? And in that world, the world where negative people are really doing anything, they're not using the Holy Spirit, the sweet, they're not being kind, right? When society stop being kind, being gentle, when they are not making room for healing, when they are not peaceful, when they are noise making, when there's so much noise saturating the ruling atmosphere of cities, of nations, all right, that atmosphere is getting people start imbibing, right, belief systems that influences their thinking pattern. They start saying, they start repeating the nonsense, right? What is right? That's when you need healing more. To come out of that noise, you need to detach, right? Because there's a separation, right? While men slept, the enemy sowed a seed, right? God will say, let it all, I want to see what we're dealing with. So there's an emergence of people no longer hiding their neck, right? People are now physically like emboldened. Okay. To counter that is people need to ascend into greater level of positivity. This is when Bible will talk about more grace need to abound. More power, more of these skills. Everybody now in your family, it's not just because people are being stressed more. People are being strained more. The spiritual atmosphere of reality is going. This is where you need to pray more, clean more, watch your atmosphere more, what you're exposing, more grace, more grace, more grace. This is the skill of these times. Bible tells you, end time, when people, what will be happening in the world, the art of what will happen to people's physiology. Can the body bear? So you have to. So anyway, I try to just create awareness, enlighten, tell you what you need to do, and then say, okay, if you're ready to do it, and I pray you are, here's the link to develop yourself. You have to develop yourself in anticipation. You have to fortify yourself. You have to build yourself up in your most holy faith in this moment. Build your health, immunity up, build your family, build everything. Now, this one is when you build. You need strength and capacity spiritually, because many people have not even seen how the world behaves in funky times. The pressure, all kinds of things, the enemy, right? They are already going, no, this is not the time for, this is time of build yourself. Build yourself. Don't go negative. Right? Because the enemy can recruit victims and turn them villains. That's one of the things they do. Oh, people were beating you down. Now you can beat other people. Don't do that. Don't let the enemy turn you. Okay? My students know I say, calm down. But this person, calm down. Because in your healing journey, you start seeing and knowing who is who. When people don't see, when they don't grow up, they don't see what they don't want to see. God will not show people what they don't want to know. But he's trying to warn you, move away from that. That person is this, that person, right? People will still be sitting around tolerating nonsense spiritually. Okay, but when you start doing the work, people will now go, wow. Oh, I'm like, calm down, forgive. Jesus has died for everybody. You learn how to forgive and back up. Back up, just back up. Yeah? Yeah. So, yes, foundationally, these are the skills that are important for emotional development of every person. And then people go emotionally immature if they didn't get these three: emotional regulation, emotional processing skills, emotional expression, communication, how you talk, how you communicate, how you present yourself in a way that is positive, that invites positivity. Okay? when any of it is not complete or formed, well, but the key is now, do you want to, right? Do you want to do, they didn't fix it, they didn't have the tools. Well, okay, the tools are here. The invitation is take the responsibility for caring for your soul, yourself, your body, your spirit. That's the invitation. Okay, so there's the family of origin guide that will, it goes more into very, very deep, very, very deep. If you are ready to go deep to self-discovery, okay, to discover what's going on inside you, to review inside you, you have to face yourself, confront yourself. Many people have been facing everybody else. Don't face spouse, don't face boss, leave them. Everybody has some they are dealing with. The thing is, are you ready to own your own? And then this emotional overload, decompress, release. It's okay, it's okay, right? That regulation skill, it's okay. Yes, this happened. Well, calm down, it's okay, because your system knows how to report. When you wake up and you're ready to address what your system has been calling your attention to address, the moment you show up that you're ready to, once you have the book in front of you, your system starts speaking. Yes, this start telling you everything. You have an internal system that speaks. All the energies internally, they speak. Everything going on inside you, they speak. They're carrying a message. The key is, are you listening? Because emotional regulation, the first thing is listen. Listen to what is speaking. But it takes great skill, and you have to sit tight to listen. That's power. You have to go into a power position to listen to yourself, because those things can flood, right? So that's why the guides will help you. It will help you, prepare you how to regulate yourself, to give you practical self-regulation, somatic, right, breath work, the different aspects of calming your nerves, listening to yourself, releasing stuff, right? Because that's where you help your body heal, right? All the stories, everything your body has experienced, the stories inside you, all of that is a very soothing exercise. So the book guides you on that. It's very, very important. Don't take it for granted. It's a life skill. Okay, thank you so much. God bless you.